I've been building antler chandeliers since 1996. What started as a craft here at home slowly found its way much further than I ever expected, into homes and lodges across North America, Central America, Europe, and even Australia. Every piece I build uses premium, authentic antler and the best components available. The wiring is fully hidden inside the antler, no exposed runs, no shortcuts, and every chandelier is carefully balanced and leveled before it ever leaves the shop. That final leveling step is something a lot of people overlook, but it's one of the details that separates a good chandelier from one that feels right the moment it is hung. That, along with how the antler is selected, oriented, and assembled, is part of what people often call the trade secrets. My wife Kim and I have always focused on quality first, not speed, not volume. Every chandelier is built to last, built to hang straight and level, and built to feel like it belongs exactly where it ends up. What you're seeing here isn't just a fixture. It's decades of experience, patience, and respect for the material. This is going to be a 5-part series. I'm going to start from the very beginning with laying out the antler, which you saw in the first few pictures. I have 5 for the bottom and 3 antler for the top. Originally this was going to be 4 in the bottom and then 4 in the middle, but sometimes you don't get the antler you want, so with 5 and 3 it became a 5 in the bottom and 3 in the top chandelier. You always want to be flexible and don't try to just make it work. Let the antler work for itself and tell you what it wants to do. And as you've noticed in the picture, the 5 that I've chosen for the bottom of the chandelier are all the same side. They're all left side and more or less the same size and shape. So usually I just take one that's a little bit longer or a little bit bigger, and I'll put it between ones that are a little bit smaller. So you have smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger. The black tape is holding the antler where I want it to eventually be screwed together. And as you can see by these pictures, these are hard brown #1 elk antler. They run about $25 a pound, and they are available online. You just have to do some searching for yourself to find the best people and whoever is closer to you. The closer you can find that somebody has antler to you, the less it's going to cost you in shipping. Here I have the 5 antlers, basically where I want them, held in place by the tape, which is still a little bit flexible, so I can still adjust the antler a little bit if I want to. The closer the antler are to each other as far as shape and size, the more symmetrical and better looking your chandelier is going to come out. So try to match your antler before you even start. Once you have it where you want it and you like what you see, then you can go ahead and tape it down really secure where it's not going to move when you start to drill it together. Here you can see I've added more tape to it, so it's a lot more secure and solid. This antler on the right is not quite where I want it, so I'm going to take some more tape and take the top of that antler and pull it down toward the other one and tape it so it'll hold in place, so when I go to screw it together it's not going to move anywhere. That made all the difference in the world, and I'm liking the shape. It's more or less round. It's got that hexagon kind of shape to it, but it looks really good so far, so we're going to go with it. It's important that you take your time and go slow and look things over and look it over again and make sure it's where you want it, because once you start screwing it together, it's going to stay where you put it. I prefer to use a corded drill. because you don't have the battery issues, but I do have some cordless drills as well. I'm using a standard size 5/32 drill bit. The 6-inch one behind it is just a little bit bigger in diameter. I'll be using 2.5 to 4.5 inch size torque drive deck screws. These torque drive screws are deck screws that are way stronger than regular drywall screws. And I like to have at least 3 screws in each place where the antlers are connected. Okay, we're ready to make some noise. Drill one hole at a time and put 1 screw in each hole as you go. Don't jump ahead. Never put your hands or your fingers behind where the drill is going to come through the antler or possibly could come through the antler. Keep your hands out of the way. Choose the appropriate length of screw that will go all the way down to the bottom of your hole. And it is important that you do not drill through the second antler and make an extra hole on the other side. I like to add just a little tiny bit of Gorilla Glue to the screw before I put it into the antler itself. It only takes a little tiny bit, and make sure you dip it in some water so the glue itself will expand like foam. Make sure you go real easy with that drill, because it's very easy to drill it all the way through to the other side, and you don't want to do that. As the screw is going in, you'll feel it tighten up and the difference that it makes when it hits the other side. Start with just 1 screw in each location around the chandelier. When you have all 5 screws in, then we'll go back and put more in. Leave the tape in place while you're doing this. This is an excellent location for a screw. You just have to be really, really careful. And if you want to be safe, you can clip the end of the pointed part of the screw off so it won't go through the antler quite as easy. But this isn't necessary. Stress how important it is to really take your time and be careful. Don't be in a hurry. Take your time. The screw is in place and it didn't drill through the other side and leave an extra hole that we have to fix later. Once you have the first 5 screws in, now you can go back around and add at least 3 screws in each spot, is what I recommend. Sometimes these screws will be close together, other times they'll be a few inches apart like you see here. And if you're attaching two larger antlers to each other, you can go to your 6-inch drill. This will give you a cleaner, deeper hole that you can reach. You see where the screw comes through the first antler and into the second antler. Try to keep those very, very tight and close. Don't have a lot of that screw showing where the second one is. I would consider this to be about as good as you're going to get for screw placement on this section here. 3 screws, all in a good spot. At this point, it's okay to take the black tape off. We have all 5 antlers screwed together. Each has 3 screws holding it in each location. Next step is going to be to cut the screws off with the Dremel tool. It is imperative that you use safety goggles. I got a piece of metal in my eye a couple weeks ago just having my regular eyeglasses on, and it wasn't any fun. The standard old style 100 Dremel tool is probably your best bet at around 40 bucks. You can also buy the cutoff wheels on Amazon a lot cheaper than hardware stores. The piece of metal that was in my eye rusted its way out. I went to the eye doctor and he said, yeah, it left a nice crater in your eye, but it will heal. Just leave a nice little scar. The pain was excruciating and I suffered for several days. Don't do that. Always wear goggles just to be absolutely safe. You won't regret it. And don't panic if you see some little blemishes that you're making on the antlers, some little scratches. These will all be fixed later, so don't panic and don't worry about these because they're all going to be hidden. This is what those cut off, ground off screws look like. They're just slightly below the surface of the antler, so when you do fill it, it's going to be nice and smooth and natural and unseen. I'm really happy with how this looks. The shape is good. It's screwed together, it's tight, it's solid, it's not going to fall apart, it's not going to come apart, and everything looks fantastic. This chandelier was built for Adam LaRoche, the Major League Baseball player, several years ago, along with a few other pieces we made for him as well.